Hi.
Hi, guys. Power people.
Woo.
Woo.
Yes.
Everybody having a great time in France?
As much as you want to be, you're not a DJ.
I'm not. It doesn't work.
Thanks for coming to Cannes. I know it was a hard decision to make.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We were up many nights trying to figure out if
Do
we should
we
come
or
to the
don't
south.
we go to the south of France?
I know, and we're here.
You're here. So for those of you who don't know Grace and Hannah, why don't you guys talk a little bit about how you started on YouTube? Grace, if you want to.
Sure. My name's Grace Helbig. I have a YouTube channel called youtube.com/itsgrace. And I do, comedy videos on that channel for the most part. I started out in New York City doing improv and sketch comedy, auditioning for TV and film and commercials, and making web videos for fun. I got hired by a website called mydamnchannel.com in 2008 or 9. Made a bunch of videos for them on a channel called Daily Grace. Broke off from them and started my own channel about 2 years ago. And now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a telling tale.
What a journey.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it a Lifetime film. Yeah, one day.
Yeah, one day. My name is Hannah Hart. I am youtube.com/Harto. Mine's a little bit different of a tale from Grace's. I got started on YouTube by accident in March of 2011. I was a translator at the time who got drunk one night and made a video for a friend called My Drunk Kitchen.
Don't do that.
What I do?
You're holding the microphone in a way that is...
Only you think that way. I have no idea
I
what
think
this
the way
is about.
the internet thinks.
Oh,
That's very,
right.
very
Sorry, guys.
jiffable.
Sorry, guys. Nobody's doing anything. Anyway, how do I hold it? With just one hand?
Perfect.
Okay,
There we
great.
go.
It was a wonderful journey on the internet for me from 2011 to 2015. One video, blah, 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 internet, it happens.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
So Lifetime movies. If somebody had to play you in a Lifetime movie, who would it be?
Oh, shit.
Sting.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Oh, I
Sting
changed
and
my...
Tom Hardy hit the Grace and
Oh
Hannah
my
story.
God, they're the real Laverne and Shirley.
I know, I've always said that. I've
Yeah.
always said that.
One day, today, Sting's performing in France.
Things here.
This is
Tonight's
when
our
we
night.
pitch him.
Oh my God, I'm gonna pitch him on a Kickstarter. It's gonna be great.
Bring your deck.
Okay, will do.
So for those of you who can't tell, Hannah and Grace are friends in real life. Can you guys talk about how you met and how you guys still
Sure.
work together?
Yeah, I along with Daily Grace, I was making web videos with a friend named Michelle on a channel called Grace and Michelle, and we had seen, living in Brooklyn, we had seen some of Hannah's first videos, and Michelle reached out and said, "Do you want to have dinner with us?" And Hannah came and had dinner.
It wasn't even Grace. It was her friend Michelle. And then
Yeah.
we had dinner. And I remember thinking to myself, this Grace girl is so shy.
Yeah,
She
true.
was silent. She didn't talk at all that
I
entire
make
dinner.
internet videos for fun. I'm not the most outgoing person.
It's true. It's true. And they invited me. So we had dinner. And, after we went to an improv show because they were performing at the People's Improv Theater, the Pit in New York. And that's when I actually got to see a little bit of your personality, actually, because
Yeah.
Grace was really good at improv. And I thought, she's funny. That's the one I want to be friends with.
It was like a really abbreviated version of The Bachelorette.
Yeah. I gave her a rose at the end, and then the
yeah.
rest is history.
But then we met up again at Playlist Live with
Oh,
our-
that's right. We didn't
yeah.
talk after that dinner.
No,
did we?
that's how all my dates go. And then and we met up with our friend Mamrie Hart as well, and we just hung out and had very, very similar comedic sensibilities and really
Similar interests. Everyone was holding a Bloody Mary entirely of their own accord. We're like, are you also at this event with the Bloody Mary? Let's
Yeah.
be friends for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, that's truly how it happened. Yeah.
And so together with Mamrie and individually, you guys do a ton of stuff. There's TV shows. You guys are both New York Times best-selling authors.
Whoop, whoop.
You guys sell merch, you do brand integrations. How do you know, or what in your gut, what tells you like, yeah, I'm going to say yes to this opportunity versus like, nah, that's not for me?
Great question.
Thanks.
Great question.
Thank you.
I like to say no good opportunity is fleeting. That's something I like to say about opportunities. Really for us, I think that like since we come from a background that's entirely based on engagement and like building community and having a relationship with your audience, with your fans, with your viewers, whatever you want to call them, that is the number one most important thing that we have kind of effectively in our lives. So when it comes to like weighing the value of an opportunity, for me personally, it's can I stay true to the brand I've built with this community and, you know, see what is available in this opportunity.
Yes, and my theory is far more selfish. I think, well, the way, I mean, YouTube became an accidental career. It was a hobby that became a career. And so the way I was making my videos was imagining, I mean, I consume as much YouTube as I produce. So if I wasn't a part of a certain project, would I be jealous that I wasn't a part of it? Is that something that I would want to consume just independently of myself or my friends being involved? And so that's really how I've, it's a very improv mentality of saying yes to a project that comes up, or people that have ideas that come up that make sense for what you want to build. I cite Chris Hardwick a lot as my inspiration for building a brand. I think he's created a very, very specific content for an audience that is really pinpointed. And he doesn't necessarily have to be the star of everything that Nerdist creates, but you feel like it was recommended to you directly from him regardless. And that is really, a true brand. So we really try and think about, like, would I want to watch the project that Hannah did if I wasn't friends with her, and vice versa?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys like sounding boards for each other? Do you talk to each other a lot about like what?
I think we talk to each other a lot every day.
Yeah. About a lot of things.
About a lot of different things.
But that's one of the great things, is that the goal is to be able to create with your friends. And Camp Dakota was our first, we made this film a few years ago, and it was our first real big endeavor to do something that was digitally infused, but from a traditional point of view and with each other, so we could be direct soundboards and know that the opinions that we have with each other are going to be honest. And I think that's worked really well.
It's nice, because I think YouTube allows you a lot of like freedom and creative control. And so when you're doing projects, it's good to have, I guess, kind of like a buddy system to be like, hey, we're not going to start compromising now, are we? And it's like, yeah, we can work together, we can collaborate, but it doesn't mean having to sacrifice kind of what got you there. And I think what draws people to the internet is that it has content that's inaccessible on other platforms. And so the idea is to bring that platform here and bring this one up there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So YouTube turned 10 this year, and you
Happy
guys
10th birthday! I
You
know.
too.
It was what did we say? We were at New York celebrating the 10th birthday, and it was like, this is the biggest birthday for a 10-year-old we've ever seen.
Yeah, we went for it.
Yeah.
Everybody was very happy.
So, and you guys have been on the platform for a long time, and you've been building your brands both on and off YouTube for a long time. What has been your biggest challenge so far?
In life?
In life.
I have a really hard time with the organization. Yeah, it's not my strong suit.
Oh, I thought you were saying organizations. I was like, this is not the right place to have that talk. I just hate brands.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I hate advertising.
But biggest challenge, like on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube, or just building your brand as a whole.
Biggest challenge.
I think the biggest challenge is that, we're human beings, spoiler alert, and so we kind of evolve and grow in our taste levels. And so truly, like, the base of creating an audience is being authentic to them. And then with that, you can't be afraid to evolve and change and hope that your audience sees that that's as authentic as the person you might have started out being on YouTube. And I think for ourselves, it's checking in every now and then with the way we've grown over the course of our creative lives, and being able to have like direct conversations with our audience about, things that change in our lives. And I think that's really important, and it's also really hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to kind of piggyback off what Grace is saying there, it's like everybody has this idea, this fantasy that a viral video is like what makes a channel. A viral video is what makes a business. And it's like, well, does a single product make a business? Like even take something like Coca-Cola. They've rebranded, they've remarketed, they've changed themselves over the course of the years. So the idea that you have to be one consistent, stagnant thing for the entire lifetime of your career, it's, I know, A, B, it's just false. Yeah. So it's just checking back in, as Grace said, and looking at it and being like, does this reflect the evolution I have had as a person?
Right. Speaking of brands,
Whoa.
lots of brand reps here, creative agencies.
I say brand, you say rep.
What has been what have been some of your more successful brand integrations, and why have they worked out so well for you? Why have you been happy with them?
One of my first really, really successful brand integrations was with St. Ives, and they came to me completely kind of open-armed, letting me have really a lot of creative control over what we made. And we made a commercial, and they let me say flat out that we are making a commercial. We are making the dumbest lotion commercial we can possibly make. And the audience resonated with that because it wasn't like I was subtly and secretly trying to put St. Ives in a video and pretend that it wasn't a commercial or a brand deal, because the audience is really smart and they smell bullshit from 2 miles away. And I know for myself watching a video, when I clearly know that someone has been paid to promote this project or a product, I want them to say that to me. Mm-hmm. It's like when you have, a friend that's dating someone and they're not telling you, and you're like, just tell me, I clearly know, like that sort of thing. So it's just a matter of the commercial ended up being really great. It went over on their YouTube channel, and all of the comments were people. One, liking the content, but two, saying, I love this commercial because it openly admitted that it was a commercial in the very beginning. And that was really helpful.
And I think that, that's kind of what I like to believe is, the next, evolution of, creative marketing. Where it doesn't always have to be that tongue-in-cheek, self-referential,
flash mobs,
flash mobs, or,
flash mobs.
oops, it's a commercial. Or even just trying to, trick your audience or, anything like that. Because it's, what we have to be aware of is that they know the second we start integrating a product, and there's nothing wrong with integrating a product. There's nothing bad about the fact we're getting paid to endorse this product, because our job is to only endorse products or brands that we actually want to stand by. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what I hope to be the next, evolution of that relationship between brands and creators, is that they trust that we want for everything to work out for everyone. Yeah. And to answer your question, I had actually a really great partnership with Coke this year during their Make It Happy campaign. It just really worked well because it aligned with kind of what my brand likes to do, which is reckless optimism, which is this idea that you can be totally aware of everything around you and circumstances as they are and choose to have a positive outlook about it. And Coke's Make It Happy campaign, aligned really well with that. So I had a great experience.
Nice.
Thanks.
So you guys both have pretty young audiences, at least on YouTube. I feel like the term selling out used to be something that the kids said. Do the kids still say that, or do they kind of applaud your brand integrations?
Oh, I wish I knew what the kids said. For myself, I can't speak to what Hannah has worked on. For myself, they understand when it's. I pride myself on being really, kind of aloof, but also self-aware at the same time. So being able to kind of honestly say in the middle of a video, this is a plug for a brand that I am working with,
right,
but I really like this brand. So take it or leave it. This is free content for you. So that has worked really well, and I haven't seen, too much negativity about it. I think because the ecosystem of YouTube, it's becoming more, common and understood that brand deals happen, and that's how people make their livings, and that you can't continue to fight against it because it's just the way it works.
Yeah, and I think that, for me personally, my strongest demographic is 18 to 34, and I at no point want to try and lie to them or pull the wool over their eyes, but they have to trust me. My job is to make sure that my taste and my curation stays honest and authentic, so that when I start to endorse a brand or a product, they actually might enjoy buying this brand or product. And it's as simple as that.
So, a lot of creative agencies in the audience. If you wanted them to leave this remembering one thing, what would it be with respect to working with YouTube creators?
Just trust us.
Do we have to only use 3 words?
Now you have to use
what
2.
Hannah said. Sincerely, trust us, because our audience, they're our friends, but they're also our boss. So we're not going to put ourselves or them in an awkward situation. So we want to collaborate and make the coolest kind of deals and content that we would be jealous of had we not made it ourselves.
100%. If we've already, it's I feel like, and I can't speak for every creator, because you have to walk away from this remembering that creators are all different businesses. They're all different people. They're all different content producers. They're just all different. But for me personally, I know for Grace personally, if we have said yes to an opportunity, that means that we are looking for the best interest of that opportunity and ourselves. Yeah. So I feel like
we care.
We care. We can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. That's the Coke 2016. Yes, we can.
En France.
Yeah.
I think we have time to open it up for audience questions. Does anybody have anything to ask Grace and Hannah?
Oh, wow.
Anybody?
Calm
Nobody?
down.
Yeah, we've awed them.
What's the square root of 4?
Oh,
Oh, well,
math.
clearly math is not part of my brand.
Yeah.
2, I'm hearing 2.
Okay, nailed it.
Anybody else?
What would cause you to turn down an approach from a brand?
What would cause us to turn down an approach from a brand? I mean, obviously, products that we wouldn't authentically use in our lives, guns, drugs, that kind of thing, we might turn down. But also, if they weren't open to we each have our own individual processes of creating content, and the end result of what we hope to achieve with the content. So for me, closed-mindedness is something that I would turn down.
I think, honestly, the opportunities I've turned down, I don't actually know if they stem directly from a brand. And I'm just going to, go ahead and say this point blank. But a lot of times, creative agencies that are selling on my behalf as this responsibility that they've assumed upon themselves aren't selling my brand well. And so they've sold this generic idea of what I do to a client. The client has come, and then I'm like, well, this is actually what I do. And then suddenly they're trying to make it work, trying to make whatever they sold work. And I'm like, no, I can walk away from this. It's just going to make you look bad because you made a promise you couldn't keep. So it's really not about the brands necessarily.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Stop being polite.
Okay.
It started getting real.
More questions over here.
Where do you see YouTube going in the next 5 years?
To its 15th birthday. The question was, where do you see YouTube going in the next 5 years?
Yeah, for me, I've stopped even trying to imagine what the future's going to be like. I couldn't imagine myself sitting here right now, so I'm going to kind of conserve my energy for intelligent fart jokes to be used in videos rather than thinking about, because I don't know. You try and kind of understand it as it happens, and you can only predict so much, but I don't know.
I try and see where YouTube's going in the next 5 days.
Yeah,
I think that it continues to be on the cusp. And I think that it is actively aware of all the other, kind of platforms and other products that are emerging kind of in this same giant digital ecosystem. But if I'm going to put my money on something, I think Google and YouTube are a pretty safe bet. Sorry.
One more over here, and then I think we're out of time.
Hi. Hello.
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 Bonjour.
Bonjour. How important is consistency posting now that you guys have kind of established this presence? It's kind of difficult, I would assume.
Turns out very important.
Yeah, consistency over time is really a key to growing a channel. If I put myself again in the perspective of an audience member, and I know at 10 p.m. on Sundays, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills have a new episode, and I'm very excited for it, and then Sunday comes around and they don't happen to show it because they had a busy weekend and they couldn't edit the episode, I would be really disappointed. And so you have that relationship with your fans. You have this silent promise that I will be delivering content to you. And because authenticity and transparency is so important with that two-way relationship, you really have to, stand up to that.
Yeah, and I think that authenticity and transparency can still fall under the category of I had a really busy weekend, I couldn't edit it. I'm a one-man show, but also accountability, which is that, and I will edit it, and here it is. It's like when you talk about Real Housewives 10 p.m., that's super, super linear, and I think that people are getting used to this kind of non-linear idea, all right, well, as long as I'm still in touch with them and I know that it's coming, you're still protecting that relationship. But yes, consistency is ideal.
Cool. I think we're done.
Well.
Yeah, turned out for what?
Chair, it's so hot. I'm afraid to get up.
What's the outro music?
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you
Thanks
guys.
very much.
Thank you.